Guys, I spent the whole weekend binge watching Squid Game Season 3 and I have so many thoughts, but I'm going to start off by saying I loved this show from start to end. I have seen a lot of negative commentary online about Season 3 in particular, and I've got to say I completely disagree with it. I really thought that this was an epic conclusion to a harrowing reflection on modern society, capitalism, wealth, and greed. I think this is one of the most important and well-written and well-produced TV series of the 21st century, and I think the socio-cultural commentary that Squid Game offers will continue to be relevant for many years to come. These are all of my thoughts on Squid Game Season 3. What's up guys, Mike here, welcome back to the channel. Make sure you hit subscribe for more content like this. So I've done a bunch of videos in the past on this channel about how I don't think Squid Game ever actually needed any more seasons after Season 1. That's something I stand by. I feel like the series was incredible. I mean, Season 1 was just phenomenal television. But Netflix likes to milk anything dry, which is why it got a second and third season. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you will know that I genuinely believe this series was never written to have anything after Season 1. I think the epilogue of Season 1 was tacked on by Netflix, but I think the series was just written as a single season show, and the last two seasons were added for more money. But hey, money makes the world go round, as we see in Squid Game, so it's kind of a meta self-reflection that the series continued anyway. I was somewhat skeptical about Season 2, but loved it, and that left us off on this incredible cliffhanger where Gi-hun, the main character, starts a rebellion against the Pink Guards. Season 3 shines over Season 2, in my opinion. It further explores this warped morality and sense of desperation in a lot of these people, particularly Gi-hun, who definitely suffers from a lot of internal turmoil throughout this season. And a few months ago, I did actually do a theory video on how I thought Squid Game would end, and I'm not gonna lie, a bunch of my predictions were very, very accurate. That being said, one of my key predictions was that Gi-hun would ultimately turn evil, and that, of course, is completely wrong. But during this season, we do see a lot of signs that Gi-hun is actually grappling with what is the right thing to do. During the hide-and-seek game, which was some of the most intense TV I've ever seen, Gi-hun seriously deliberates before he acts on using the knife in the game, and he definitely has a vengeance against the person who betrayed the rebellion group. It is very clear that he really wants to murder, but he is still hesitating to do it. On the other hand, with the hide and seek game, a few of my other theories did come true. Firstly, I had the theory that either the mother or son character would be responsible for the other's death, and that was correct. And I feel like that was just an incredible storyline, because we already saw the signs of the son leaving the mother and saving his own hide. That was back in Season 2 with the Mingle game. And then in Season 3, it actually ties into another one of my theories, which is the theory that the baby would be born in the middle of the game. I actually anticipated it would be during the jump rope game, and that the jump rope game would have to continue with the baby. That wasn't exactly true, but the jump rope game did happen with the baby, and I'll get to that soon. The son character wants to kill the mother of the baby, but his mother will not let him do it, offers herself as sacrifice, but the son pushes her aside, and so to save the newborn baby, the mother kills her own son. That is just brutal, and leads to her taking her own life in the next episode, which is equally brutal. It is amazing how the baby is treated in this game, because as soon as the baby is brought into it, the morality of the entire system is challenged. Of course, the creators of the game do not care at all about the baby, and the baby is set to be another challenger on its own. I think this is a really, really harrowing reflection on society about how the world doesn't really care about individual people. The systems in place are designed to protect the rich, and the rich continue to get richer while just ignoring all of the socio-cultural problems that permeate throughout the world. Because I think anyone with a heart would know that the baby does not belong there, but it kind of takes you by shock when they force the baby to be part of the games. The fact that the baby is forced to be a participant in the jump rope game is absurd, and it really, really pulls at your heartstrings. Like, it is such a disturbing reflection of what these games stand for. That is where we get the jump rope game. In my opinion, one of the most entertaining games of the whole season. And Gi-hun again shows his ongoing commitment to what is right and good. Not only does he carry the baby across, he also wants to go back to grab the baby's mother, who has a broken or fractured ankle and can't jump. Of course, the mother ends up realizing that it is futile for her to even try and essentially gives up, leaving the baby in Gi-hun's care. The second player to cross the jump rope bridge starts pushing other players down, says that he is just playing the game, but Gi-hun interjects and stops him. Again, I think this was a really great way of seeing how desperate people are forced to make really bad decisions to save themselves. Again, a reflection of our real world. People who are already poor and already don't have much are probably more inclined to commit crime and to make bad decisions and maybe end up in the justice system or punished. These things just propagate themselves, and it's an endless cycle of desperation and a lack of resource. I feel as though throughout the series, Gi-hun is more vacant and hollow than ever before. It's an interesting character exploration because I feel like it's a shattering of what Gi-hun thought he could achieve. He really believes that he can stop these games for good, but I feel like in the last game, he's kind of realized that he can't. Another social commentary and reflection in which we realize that one person can't overthrow the system. Sure, maybe they can make a difference, but nothing he did led to a better solution. The look on his face almost appears like he's lost complete faith in humanity, particularly when all of the other men in the game are perfectly willing to sacrifice an infant child for their own lives. It's a disturbing loss of morality and humanity, and it was difficult to watch. And ultimately, despite all of his efforts, Gi-hun realizes that there's no real way out of this, and he makes the morally correct decision. He takes his own life to leave the baby as the winner of the games. We see the masked billionaires again. Their dialogue is very cringy and not well performed at all, which I've seen a lot of people talking about, but I do love them conceptually. Again, the uber rich people in society see this as a sport, as a literal game, as something they can bet on and have fun watching as a spectator sport. It's pretty disturbing. In fact, at one point, some of the billionaires are actually posing as pink guards so they can participate in killing the contestants. The billionaires are also completely unfazed about the baby. They could not care less, and in fact, they encourage the baby to be a participant in the games. But the key thing that I think we need to pay attention to, and the key genius in all of this, and also maybe sort of one of my theories coming kind of true, is the front man. Because even though the front man is the figurehead of the games, he clearly shows some level of remorse or questioning of the morality behind these games. And Gi-hun really makes him feel that way. In fact, Gi-hun's sacrifice seems to really touch the front man and really make him question and consider what he is doing. We also see reflections of his time in the games where he ended up winning, and it clearly has an emotional impact on him. In the show epilogue, it seems that he has sent the baby and the prize money to his brother, while also leaving Gi-hun's winnings and belongings to Gi-hun's daughter in America. And that is where my final theory did come true, which was that I thought that we would see some kind of inference or acknowledgement that the games are not just happening in Korea, they are happening worldwide. Well, the frontman ends up in America to give Gi-hun's belongings to his daughter, who is over there, where he encounters a cameo appearance from Australian actor Cate Blanchett, who is the American Squid Game recruiter. I've actually seen a lot of people commenting that it's not realistic that they would be playing the same game as in South Korea on the street, but I didn't really find that distracting at all. In fact, my headcanon on this is that the Squid Game originates in Korea and has kind of been like franchised out around the world. So to me, it's not an issue at all, and I absolutely loved this. Because the look on the frontman's face when he realizes that it's still happening all around the world. He has hesitations now. He isn't sure if this is right, but he knows it's just part of the system of the world. Personally, I don't think that this is going to directly link to the American Squid Game remake we're hearing about. But it would be really cool if Cate Blanchett was in that show. I thought it was really great seeing her, to be honest. There's so much more I could talk about, but I don't want the video to go on for too long. But Squid Game Season 3 and Squid Game as a whole, to me, is an achievement in storytelling, social commentary, and just what television can do. This show has made me feel so much more than any other TV series I have ever seen. It is exciting, it is harrowing, it's sometimes difficult to watch, but every single episode keeps you completely hooked and sucked in, and I am so happy that this show was made. Whew, thank you so much for watching, guys. Hey, if you like this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button for more content like this, and comment below, what did you think on Squid Game Season 3? What do you think about the ending? I would love to know your thoughts, and if you've got nothing to comment, but you just want to help me out in the algorithm because you're a good guy and you think I'm a good guy, just comment below, jump rope. That way I know you made it to the end of the video and you're still here watching. While I've got you, I'm all over the internet doing dumb stuff that I think is cool. I have a blog, I have a podcast, all the links are down below. And if you like this video, YouTube thinks you might like this one too, but if you want to watch a bunch of other Squid Game videos, I have a whole playlist of them for you to binge right here. I won't stop you. That's pretty much it from me. My name's In Radio Mike. This has been The Inside of My Mind, and I will catch you later.